Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will discuss the topic of registration process, which is the prerequisite under goods and service tax. So let's get started. The requirement of registration is contained under section 22 of CGST Act 2017, which provides that every supplier whose aggregate turnover in a financial year exceeds the threshold limit shall be liable to get itself registered under GST, and that person have to get itself registered only at a place from where he makes a taxable supply of goods or services or both. Now, what does aggregate turnover refers to here? Firstly, aggregate turnover is to be computed on all India basis, that is PAN basis, which includes and exclude some of the supplies. What does it include? It include taxable supply, exempt supply, export of goods, services or both, interstate supplies to person having same PAN, or outward reverse charge supply, that is outward supply on which purchaser is required to pay GST under reverse charge mechanism, and all other supplies on behalf of its principal. These all supplies are included in aggregate turnover, whereas it excludes inward supplies under reverse charge mechanism because it takes a color of purchases as it is inward supply, so it does not included in aggregate turnover. And intra-state supplies to person having same PAN is also not included while computing aggregate turnover. Now moving further, as we have discussed in the definition section, that every person whose aggregate turnover exceeds the threshold limit is required to get itself registered. Then what does threshold refers to? So threshold is to be determined on the basis of the state in which the person gets itself registered. So if a person falls in the special category state like Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura or Nagaland, then he is required to get itself registered only if his aggregate turnover exceeds rupees 10 lakh, whether he is engaged exclusively in supply of goods or in both, that is supply of goods as well as supply of service. The threshold remains same, that is 10 lakh. Moving further, if person falls under other special category state, majorly Arunachal Pradesh, Pondicherry, Uttarakhand, Meghalaya, Telangana, Sikkim, then he is required to get itself registered only if his aggregate turnover exceeds 20 lakh, and this 20 lakh is both for supply of goods as well as supply of service. Further, all other states including Assam, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, or you can say Uttar Pradesh, or any other state except which are specified in two categories above, then if person is engaged exclusively in supply of goods, then he is required to get itself registered only if his aggregate turnover exceeds rupees 40 lakh, whereas if he is engaged in supply of goods as well as supply of service, then He is required to get itself registered only if its aggregate turnover exceeds rupees 20 lakh. But there is an exception to this 40 lakh limit. That is where 40 lakh limit is not applicable even if the person is engaged exclusively in the supply of goods, which are the person who are engaged in the supply of following items. First, ice cream or edible ice. Second, pan masala. Third, all tobacco and tobacco substitutes. Then the person who are required to take compulsory registration under section 24 are also doesn't fall under the category of threshold of rupees 40 lakh, and also the person who takes the voluntary registration. I hope you all understand the registration process. So that's it for this video. If you have any doubts, then comment down your queries. Thank you. Stay connected for more such informative videos.